What's good, everybody? It is your boy Chris Crowley with From Fatty to Natty Bodybuilder. This is episode 10. Enjoy.
Names on the stage, got the whole crowd bouncing. Talking about the king of kings, so move mountains,
Alright, guys, it's your boy Chris Crowley with From Fatty to Natty Bodybuilder. Thank you so much for joining today. Please be sure to hit that like. Please be sure to share this video with your friends. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Today, I get to interview Philip Ricardo Jr. And I just want to first thank him for taking some of his time out of his day to be on this channel. And as well as you'll see in the video, Philip was a very supportive and still is a very supportive person in my fitness journey. And it's because of people like him that I was able to make the transition I made, and I pray that I am able to help other people in their fitness journey, which is one of the many reasons why I created this channel. So I hope you enjoy the video. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Chris Crowley with From Fatty to Natty Bodybuilder. We have a special guest today, a great friend of mine, PNBA Hall of Famer, four-time natural Mr. Olympia, Philip Ricardo Jr. Thank you so much for coming on today, Phil. It's an honor to have you on the channel today.
It's my pleasure, man. I'm, very honored to be on this show with you. And, we've been talking for a while now, and it's great that you're doing this. I mean, who would have known you would have had a podcast that you're doing right now, It's crazy, right?
Thank you so much. Before we begin, so as Phil said, we've been talking for probably about 2 or 3 years now. It was funny, we found out that we even knew some of the same people that when we served in the Marine Corps back 95 through 99, we just mentioned names like, yeah, I knew that guy. I was like, oh my gosh, we probably ran into each other at the 22 area gym or something and never would have known.
Right.
But through the journey where I was improving my health, you were always very supportive. And one of my most prized possessions, you sent this to me and
Wow.
signed it and told me you were proud of my fitness journey and everything else. And that really touched me from the bottom to the bottom of my heart. It really did. It was one of those things that kept me going, because there were plenty of times throughout this journey where how do I put it? Where I wanted to give up because I wasn't seeing where I wanted to be. The health problems were still there, but people like you that supported me, even from afar, really, really meant a lot to me. So thank you. I do know that a lot of the progress I made is because of people like you supporting me and having my back. So thank you.
Yep. Anytime, man. I'm here.
Amen. Well, I guess first things first. I'm sure most people are going to watch this know who you are, but if you would give us a quick bio, professional and bodybuilding, and
Yeah. Professionally, I'm a retired Marine, served 21 years from 1989 to 2011. Can't believe it's been 11 years since, retirement. As you know, I'm a man of God, first and foremost, love Jesus with all my heart, and he saved me from a lot of things in my life. I'm a father, a husband, didn't lead a perfect life, but I've been really blessed in the bodybuilding arena. I've been competing since 1992, so I can't believe it's been 30 years since my very first show, and that was in Iwakuni, Japan, in a Marine Corps. And I turned pro in 2003, and that whole journey as a professional bodybuilder, natural bodybuilder, is been amazing. How I've faced so many different top bodybuilders in my era, and I'm still going. And like you said, 4-time natural Olympia champion, natural Olympia, natural universe, world champion, Yorton Cup champion. A lot of shows I try to branch out to kind of test myself against the best in the world. I've traveled the world, and it's been a amazing career, and I get to talk to great guys like you and meet people from all over the place. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
amen. That's awesome. Well, Semper Fi, top.
Rah.
So what benefits, you've kind of already touched on that, but what benefits of natural bodybuilding specifically has given you outside of just having a great physique?
Yeah, I mean, for me, people that might know me or even looked at the movie, the Generation Iron 4, I grew up a skinny kid in Brooklyn, New York. I had asthma. I was very shy, probably still shy in some ways, but, I think bodybuilding obviously puts me in an arena where I have to be outspoken. But, I think the confidence level and the self-esteem that you get from being a bodybuilder has brought a lot to me. It's just gotten me out of my comfort zone. I never thought I would be able to do something like this and change my physique. But besides the physique part, I've had many sponsorships, a lot of opportunities through sponsorship. I just put myself out there. And I think because of my passion and just being open to exploring things, I was able to get sponsors from an international company called Horley's, Body Evolution, my current sponsor, New Dawn Nutrition, Brandon Stewart. I know you've seen a lot of him. I think you might even order some stuff from him. But, those, of course, traveling the world with a natural federation. I won the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary in 2016. A year later, went to Italy, won the World Championships there. So I never would have probably had that opportunity, if I didn't, we in the Marine Corps, I've deployed, right? But it wasn't the same type of atmosphere as when you're going there representing Team USA. It's like truly the Olympics. And so I really felt like an Olympic athlete as much as we can be as bodybuilders, and doing it drug-free. It's a different arena because the people that are out there, I'm 50 years old right now, turning 51 this year, God willing. And I feel like it can keep on going. I see so many other older bodybuilders that are obviously drug-free that I see just continue to go on in their 60s and older. And so those are the real benefits of being a natural bodybuilder to me. And I feel so motivated because I can't use age as an excuse because I see others my age and older still going strong. And so it keeps me, it's like something to live for. This is something that I feel is about me. Of course, I know God is at the centerpiece of everything, but he's given me a gift that I can say, hey, I can glorify him through the gift he's given me of this and give back to others. And I feel like the bodybuilding thing is just a gift that he's given me to have something to strive for, to push myself discipline-wise and everything else. And so I think that's the major thing from bodybuilding for me.
Outstanding. I kind of, if I could add on to that, certainly bodybuilding for me on a spiritual level it's like I've seen that the most beautiful canvas of art that God gives us, in my opinion, is the human body. And being blessed, I mean, it could happen tomorrow where all of a sudden my faculties are gone, where I can't lift even a pencil, let alone weight, like I can't walk. So I feel like I kind of owe it to God to at least take care of this jar of clay, if you will, right, temple, and at the same time show that it's such a, I mean, seriously, it's a beautiful thing to put up on display. And I know it seems kind of silly when you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, you're in posing trunks and a spray tan, but I mean, honestly, it's a beautiful thing. I really do like that. Now, you mentioned Natty for Life, and in that movie, so as you and I were talking and just getting to know each other, I had no idea all those different things that had happened in your life. So you had lost both of your parents, you got a divorce, you lost a job, you wrecked a car, I don't know if, anyway, you even said in an interview that it was like a bad country music happening to you. And how did you manage to get through that, still find a way to compete, and not just compete, I mean, you dominated. And what kind of advice would you, I mean, from that, what advice would you give someone that's really going through some hard times? And say, well, okay, you have to manage the hard time and still manage actual life events going on.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, thinking back at it now, obviously I've gotten through it and I'm in an awesome place in life now. I'm beyond blessed with so many things that are happening to me, but during that time, by far the toughest time of my life. Like you said, I lost my mom in 2018. My father was sick and he passed away just a year later, 2019. At that same time, I'm trying to, get his funeral together. I wrecked my car. Then I lost my clearance on my job, let me go. So I couldn't work the job that I had without my clearance, and working on getting that back. And I was a mess. And I had just gotten divorced, living in a little small apartment, 1 bedroom, by myself, seeing my daughters every other weekend. And it was very lonely, very depressing. And I didn't even want to do anything. I just wanted to stay in my little apartment and, just why me? But I used that time, and I really am really grateful that I was a little bit more of my mature spiritual walk with God to turn to him, because it's really easy, just to be depressed and why me, and look at, what you're going through and not have that person, that God, our God, that is really there for you if you reach out to him. And, with all the great things I've had in my life, including my job and, family and the bodybuilding career, all those things were great, but you can lose everything, like you mentioned before, in a heartbeat. And that just shows that we're not in control of anything. Like, life is, it can, at a snap of a finger, just like Job in the Bible, you can lose everything, and you just have no one to turn to but God. So I had to trust in him. And I really felt at that time, I knew that he had me, that he was going to take care of me. I had some days and weeks where I was just like, wow. But at the time, I had so many people come into my life, and I think it's because of the fact that, I really made some really good contacts, good friends, and I think being a person that is following Christ, and you exude, his light, that people will do things for you because of that. And I had so many people trying to find me jobs and do this. And I had a guy, he said, look, I'm gonna get you something. You don't need your clearance for this, but you'll be able to do the same thing. It's got to hold tight. I promise I'll hook you up. And so that gave me hope. And at that same time, I met my now wife. We started dating, and she stayed with me even though I didn't have a job. I started driving Lyft, of all things, just to make some money. And it was crazy, but I met so many people, and I was able to, it was a change of what I used to do, working a great, government contracting job, to now driving people around of all walks of life. And it was a growing phase for me, and I still was able to work out, but the last thing I thought about was obviously working out and competing. But things just started to come into play for me. I finally got the job, and that was a big deal. My fiance at the time, or girlfriend at the time, was my wife. She was still there for me and gave me joy. I was reached out, or Denise Keikos, who owns Ironman Magazine, she reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing the filming for Generation Iron, and we'd like you to be part of it. And I really wasn't training to compete. That was like back in June, and the show's in November. But these positive things continue to happen. Overall, like I said, God had his hand in all this stuff. He kind of just wiped everything away for me and gave me the time to just really reach out to him. Prayed, and I just felt things were, I could just feel his presence at that time, which is crazy. And more than any other time in my life, I did. And all these good things started happening to me. I started training, they filmed me, and it was just crazy. I had no thoughts of even winning. I just wanted to be in the movie, really just to talk about my story and just, be one of the guys that's like, I've been in the sport for a while, to finally be in a movie that talks about natural bodybuilding. I knew Rob Terry and Siobhan Cunningham, those guys were. And, by the grace of God, everything fell into place. The whole entire journey was crazy. It's, unreal.
It really was. And I tell you, that movie itself, I think one of the greatest things that I liked about the movie, outside of the story, was showcasing just how beautiful natural bodybuilding can be, because they were comparing like you and some of the other competitors with the men and women in the enhanced side. And okay, yeah, those guys are humongous, but I just think the beauty and the symmetry that comes from just doing this naturally, I think it's pretty much unmatched, in my opinion. I know there's plenty of people that might troll on this channel now and just debate me on that, but that's fine. It's my opinion. It's what it is. What are some of your favorite memories so far in your bodybuilding career?
I have so many, it's even hard to put into play. I think for me, the whole journey, as I look back now, of all the competitors that I was kind of looking up to and chasing after, I was always trying to see, like, where do I stand in the sport? And I started off as nothing. I competed in the NPC for, obviously, there's a drug-free organization, and there's such a amazing revelation when I found it. And then I started meeting guys like the Kyoshi Moody's, the Doug Millers, the Martin Daniels, all these greats, Cleveland Thomas. And I never even thought I had a chance against these guys, and I'm on stage with them, the Meshaks, and I've gone against so many of these guys that have become big rivalries, and I felt almost like a Rocky Balboa going up against these guys, and the underdog trying to, come out on top. And it was an amazing ride, amazing feeling to be every year having something to look forward to, hitting that like climactic stage, And every time I went to a show, I met so many unbelievable people, whether I went overseas and, having people know who I am, which is kind of weird and crazy, but people following me. It was just a unreal feeling. So I just feel like the greatest experiences were competing, meeting people, traveling overseas, like all that combination of all those things. I've had some great battles, but there's too many to really pick. Obviously, the Generation Iron one would probably stick out the most because of what I went through. But there's so many things that happened even previously that there's always been a story each year that I've competed, especially at the Olympia.
Outstanding. Well, soon, one of these days, I'm gonna have to get up on stage with you and put on a good show. That would be kind of some bucket list going on my end over here. I think we kind of touched on it with the second question, but what are some of the other intangibles that bodybuilding's brought to you in your life?
Yeah, I think we did touch on it. Bodybuilding has made me kind of, like I said, come out of my shell, being a shy kid. I never thought that I can build the muscle mass that I was able to build. And even to this day, it's kind of weird. And you probably experience the same thing. You're training and you may look at yourself every single day. You see the same old person. But then when you see pictures and you see yourself on stage, it's like it's one of those kind of illusions that you create, a work of art. And so I'll see pictures of myself like, what the, I'm just really shocked that I can actually look like that. And the same thing with me. I've never been like, a performer or a dancer or anything like that, yet I'm known for posing. So to come up with the routines and for people to like it and standing ovation, it brings a lot of emotion to me. And I put a lot of work into it to get those emotions. And once again, I just feel like God has his hand on everything that I do. And it's not of my doing. I feel like I'm just doing the regular thing. I don't think I train any harder or work any harder than anyone else. I do work hard, there's no doubt, but I love what I'm doing. So it's not really work, but it's just the, God's will, God's grace on me. I'm able to, do really well. And so that's the intangibles, just being able to be who I didn't think I could be.
Outstanding. I'm sure, you had been a former skinny person and now, very well built. I'm sure that's helped influence other people that might have been bullied because they were skinny or something like that to, do something to change their, not necessarily change to not be bullied anymore, but to change their own self-image. You know what I mean? Because I know for me with being heavy and losing the weight, it helped inspire other people to, change their life and change their health. And then of course it changes their self-esteem and their confidence level and things like that. Well, I don't know if you deal with this too much being not a former skinny guy, but as a natural bodybuilder, especially like you and I who are in our late 20s.
Late.
Yeah, very late 20s, almost going around the third time, right? How do you handle the bulking phase, and what tips could you give to someone around our age group when it comes to the weight gain?
Yeah, you're right. I don't really deal with it as much, but I will say now that I am older, I do have to watch what I eat a lot more than when I was younger, obviously. It's harder for me to lose the body fat, to cut down. So, with that, when you want to bulk up at our age, you really have to be careful what you put in your body. You can't, go to McDonald's and throw down 5 cheeseburgers just because you're bulking up and then expect to get in shape for a show. You really have to do more of a clean bulk, at least in my opinion. And I've heard that from a lot of other, more seasoned competitors. You have to really treat your body a lot better, because not only are you dealing with age and slowing down and testosterone levels and everything else, but the wear and tear and everything else you've done to your body for all of those years leading up to the years we're at now, our late 20s. You have to take that into account. Your body is built up. We're going to have high cholesterol, blood pressure. Some people have diabetes. There's so many different diseases you'll get that you're not going to have when you're younger. But as you get older, you have to watch out for those, because you don't have your blood work checked and you're trying to bulk up and you're just putting more pressure on your organs, especially your heart. It's not a smart move. And if you're trying to have longevity in a sport, it's not worth you trying to pack on that extra 20, 30 pounds so that you can supposedly be stronger in the gym, when really you can probably put on a good 10, maybe 15, no more than 15 off your stage weight, and be strong enough to where you can still, maintain or maybe gain muscle mass depending on where you're at in your career, and not have to worry about huffing and puffing because you got an extra 30, 40 pounds on you, and putting that extra stress on your organs and, your blood and everything else. This is for longevity. And so, the bulking phase is something that you really don't have to, I wouldn't push on someone that's older. I wouldn't stay more than 10, 15 pounds past your weight. So.
Standing. Well, I guess I got a little bit of work to do because I'm a little bit past that right at this moment, but that's okay. I tell you, when you're talking about the young stuff that we did when we were young, I don't know how I survived my 6 months in Okinawa, because I definitely did the typical jarhead stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. So anybody who's a Marine already knows. There's okay, yeah. What's in the future for you with in bodybuilding? Good Lord willing.
Yeah, Lord willing. I've been very blessed again. Like, this year already started off incredibly for me. I was given the multimedia contract from the INBA, PNBA. So now, with that contract, I really have to be a lot more active. Not just competing, but social media, because they're going to be doing a lot of things for those contracted athletes to help us, put us out there with Generation Iron, who, unbelievably, Generation Iron has never been, a follower of natural bodybuilding, but because of Generation Iron 4, Natty for Life, and Denny Keikos' vision, the whole Keikos family. Now we're able to get these contracts. We're all getting showcased, and they're putting our bios and everything else on Generation Iron. So, and we're going to get a lot of, like you said, flack from, the non-naturals or enhanced or fans of, the ICB and NPC, just because, they don't realize or see that they don't look at us in the same light. We're not freaks of nature. Most of us, we're just able to get in shape. If you look at me or anybody else that's natural, probably yourself, street clothes, you're just, athletic looking. But obviously, when you step on stage, it's a totally different thing. And I think when it comes to being more mainstream and attainable, they're looking at us as what, the way people should be. And as you can see, too, with all the things happening with, a lot of the enhanced bodybuilders, men and women, just passing away at this young age. I think they've seen the light that, this is a healthy way. They should start showcasing what is right and what's true, natural bodybuilding versus the other way around. And nothing against those guys. We looked up to them, starting out. I didn't even know if they were taking anything. I just looked at their physiques and were amazed. It's kind of getting a little bit overboard nowadays. That's why we're seeing more deaths. But, for me, I feel like, if I can keep on going, especially with all the opportunities that have been coming my way, I can keep on going as long as my wife allows me to. It's all about family. I don't want to take anything away from them, because if she didn't give the okay for me to do this, I would stop. That's just bottom line. Family first, God first. But she's a great supporter of it. I hope that she somehow gets involved, because she has a good interest in it. I love my wife, Kelly, to death. She's an amazing woman. And after a failed relationship, God really blessed me that whole entire year. I can go on about that, and I kind of change the subject. But, this year, because of her support, because of the multimedia contract, because of, the growth, I think, in natural bodybuilding, I feel like I can keep on going. There's so many of my friends that compete that are in their 60s, still going, like a Dr. Pete Chikonsky, Kent Beerley. These guys are all amazing, and there's no reason why I should stop until, if I don't want to do it 1 year, 2 years or something like that, I would do that. But right now, while the coals are hot, I'm going to go ahead and ride the wave and keep on going.
Amen. And it just seems like there's, I don't know, I don't get much better feeling. I play music as one of my little side hustles, and I have a lot of fun, but there's just not much. I mean, and I'm a huge Prince fan. I'll even cover some of his songs, right? But there's not much more of a greater feeling for me than to just grab some, cold iron and get to work and see the fruits of my labor, down the road. It's a beautiful thing. My biggest regret is not doing this about 20 years earlier, but hey, as long as God still has us above this earth, I'm going to keep going, right? So that's just how it's a beautiful thing. Well, Philip, thank you again so much. I know you've had a very busy day and you're having to do this on your way home from the gym. So I truly appreciate it. And I hope when our paths meet, dinner's on me. You guys heard it here. So I'll
hold you to that.
Roger that. God bless you. I'll talk to you again real soon.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you very much for having me on.
Amen. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, folks, I just want to take one more second to thank Philip for doing this video with me. I know he's got a very busy schedule, but he was very gracious in taking his time with me. I wish him all the best of luck in his future endeavors. And yes, as one of my bucket lists in this bodybuilding journey is to get up on the stage, if not with him, at least one of the shows that he does. He's a great guy, very good man of God. And there's people like him that make this sport, this lifestyle, and this art so beautiful. So again, folks, be sure to like this channel. Be sure to subscribe to it, or I'm sorry, like the video. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Have a great day. God bless you, and know that I love you. Bye.
Things on the stage, got the whole crowd bouncing, talking about the king of kings.